Welcome to Ma's Garage. I'm Crick.
I'm Kev.
And I'm Smokey.
And on this episode, we're going to be talking about depression,
And anxiety.
And joy.
so grab a log and join us by the fire.
Yeah.
If you want to, that is.
They probably don't want to.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
It's a give and take thing, like anything else. You put it out in the universe, and then somebody will come back and be that for you.
I'm going to hold it, I'm going to act composed, and then I'm just going to go lose it. And it's like, no, if I lose it around other people, they can comfort me like everybody else is sad.
You don't have to worry about me. If anything, I'm okay worrying about you.
I think I've had it wrong because I always associate depression with sadness. And I think they go, oftentimes they go holding hands, but I don't think they're always the same thing.
They don't always have to be associated. Like something can truly make you sad. A loved one, like the death of a loved one can truly make you sad. But it's how long you let those emotions last that it can like, oh, that's unfortunate. Well, I got to go back to work.
Right.
It's the ones that they let it sit and it just eats at you over time that it dictates your decisions. Like, I don't want to leave my house. I don't want to leave my house because my husband's no longer alive.
I just want to sit here all day.
That's where I feel
and wait
like
for my time.
Mhm.
Sadness is different because sadness is like an emotional trigger where, like, in my experience, depression's more of a worthless feeling. Like your value has plummeted. You know what I mean? So like your value of yourself among society is plummeted, and that's why you feel depressed. And that can happen when you lose a loved one too, because it brings in the tangibility of like how like fragile life is. Like we can lose our life. It makes you feel less invincible. You know what I mean? So I feel like it comes from the sense of just you feel more worthless.
Nobody exists on purpose. Nobody belongs anywhere. Everybody's gonna die. Come watch TV.
You attaching that to it shows me why when we go into a recession and a depression, they use the same terminology in an economy.
We can go in an economic. Oh yeah, we did go into depression. What's the difference between a depression and a recession?
A recession is not as bad as a depression.
Okay, so recession is just when it goes down. Depression's when it dips or something.
Yeah, when it's at the bottom.
Yeah, when
I think.
if you look at it.
So is sadness a recession, and then?
Well,
yeah, it could be.
Yeah, a recess is a step back, and then a depress is a step down.
What you need to do when you're sad, like if you don't grieve, if you don't take that step back and give yourself that time to grieve, which I've made the mistake way too often, it's like you're gonna do it at some point. You're going to grieve at some point. Do it. Don't put it off because that's going to just sit on your shoulders. You know what I mean? Like you have to be sad once in a while. You have to take that time to be human.
And the people that appear that they have no emotions are the ones that just don't express them.
Right. Well, that's a society. I remember doing that at my grandpa's funeral. For some reason, like I felt like I couldn't cry at the funeral. So I went in the bathroom to cry. And it's like, my grandpa's dead laying in that casket. I don't think all these people around here are really going to care if I cry right now. But as like a guy and everything else like that, like, and the youngest, like in the family, whatever it was, like, I just didn't feel like I could cry in front of people. So it was just like, I'm going to hold it. I'm going to act composed, and then I'm just going to go lose it. And it's like, no, if I lose it around other people, they can comfort me. Like everybody else is sad. Like embrace that atmosphere. Like it's okay to be sad.
It is.
That's the place to be sad, right?
Right.
I feel like a lot of those people, because I was kind of the same way. Like I didn't want to cry at my father's funeral because I wanted to be like the strong one that other people could express their emotions and I'm here to help them. But I'm good. Like you don't have to worry about me. If anything, I'm okay worrying about you. Like he had a big impact. And maybe it could be seen a little bit selfish, but I had my grieving, and I probably because like one, I'm the oldest in the family. So it just kind of hit me a little bit sooner, like before it even occurred. Like I knew it was inevitable.
So you had more time to kind of go through that process and through those stages.
Yeah. And even like taking that phone call from my mom, like she was highly emotional. So I wasn't just going to be highly emotional as well. Like that's not going to help her. Like I instinctually knew that I had to be the stronger one.
I think sometimes it is important to step up and be that stone, to be that one for people to grasp on. But I think too, there is times when you guys just need to freaking like, it's okay to just ball into each other's arms, just collapse. Like, cause I've definitely been there too, where it's just like, everybody's just overwhelmed by emotion and it's okay. But sometimes we need to be that foundation and be that rock, but allow other people. If you can do that, you also have to allow other people to be your rock sometimes. You have to be vulnerable. That's at least what I'm learning for myself is you have to be vulnerable sometimes too. You have to be able to allow yourself to be sad and to open up to people like that. You don't always have to be the rock. That's what I'm learning.
It's the give and take thing, like anything else. You put it out in the universe and then somebody will come back and be that for you.
Right. You just have to let them. Like so there's tons of people where people wanted to be, they want to be there to help you. That makes them feel good too. But if you're like, oh, I can't be sad. I can never be sad. You know what I mean? You're not giving them opportunity to do something good, And
a rock is not always a rock.
Yeah.
Over time, a rock becomes less or becomes more.
We can change state. It's not so dictated. We can, that's where I don't know. I like that we're changing the idea of what like masculinity and what it is to be a man nowadays, because it's like a man can be emotional. A man can be,
that's
like
what makes us human.
Like, right.
That's the most
manly
manly
thing. You a good man. Right. Like if you're a good dad, it's because you care about your family. You're not going to dip out on, you're not going to leave them. Like you're a good man because you care, because you have emotions, not because you're good at hiding your emotions, never letting people know how you actually feel. I don't feel like that's not a good man.
See, I feel like nowadays, like what dictates like a good manly nature is having control over your emotions, knowing when and when not to express.
Exactly.
And expressing in the right motions and not expressing in the wrong moments.
Right. Being emotionally aware, like understanding why you're upset and when it's okay to be upset and mad. Because there is times where you have to like, if someone offending or is being violent towards like your significant other, it's like you can stand up and you can raise your voice and you can be dominating. That's okay. Like they're threatening you. You know what I mean? Like that's fine. But
it's okay to stand up for yourself.
Cut you off in traffic. You don't need to go bash their taillight in.
And you're especially using that example. Like I was thinking more of like when you witness someone that's middle-aged per se, and either like road rage or even like witnessing it at like a grocery store or even at like a gas station, like the person that's just going off on the person that's like trying to help them, but they're just like making it 4 times worse by going off on them.
This is ridiculous! I've been here longer than anybody! I'm sorry, ma'am, but the sign says prepaid customers get tended to first. So maybe you should learn how to read.
Whoa!
And either they're doing it for attention or they're just doing it because that's their nature. Going back to kind of like the person that you were talking about previously, where they're just kind of stuck in their ways, that things have always been this way for them. So as soon as someone tries to do anything that's different than what they're used to, they're just gonna explode. They're just going to express their,
I don't know how to handle this.
Yeah. I don't know how to handle it. They basically put both hands up and they let their mouths speak for them. But those people, which I'm sure they do realize, they just don't care. Actions speak a lot louder than words.
Have you guys ever been in a situation like that where you're just literally like your mind just doesn't know how to react or handle the situation?
A handful, definitely.
Same.
I feel like I just babble sometimes.
Right? You think you got it all together, and then something just goes, I don't know what to do here.
Right.
I just don't know where to even start. Like I couldn't even fathom this happening. So how do I address it?
Or something happens and you know what you should do. You just don't know if you should do it or not because you don't know what could happen.
Or if it's your place, or that's where it just goes into going with your gut, because that's where it is. Like you can validate the reason why you don't help that stranger on the side of the road, but they might actually need help. And you've overvalidated and you said that they don't need it, but it's like, they might need help. Ask, like step outside. Like you don't have to.
You don't know if you're going to get mugged until you're actually getting mugged.
Yeah, it's true.
That's the part that like, unless we all wear like a bulletproof vest and we all just had like the Rick Sanchez, like, and an electric field just goes out.
Mm-hmm. When you could make someone's day and never know it. You could go out of your way and make someone's day and just never know it. And you still made their day. You know what I mean? You changed their life, or you showed them that there's a glimpse of hope and humanity because you actually stepped out and did something good for them.
And it was just a small portion of your time.
Because you didn't accept that fear of I could get mugged, or this bad could happen because the world is a bad place. But I said, that's not everybody. And I made that step. You know what I mean? And I'm not the guy that either. I don't do it every time. Like,
I'm just going to carry a gun with me at all times and like go up to homeless people to help them, but just like hold them at gunpoint at the same. I'm here to help you. This is for my protection.
Yeah.
Reversal.
Here's the money. Okay.
Here's the money. Don't you dare try something.
Take the damn money.
I have a great life.
They're not even homeless. They're just like a scared, panicked pedestrian.
You better have a good day.
What are you looking at? It's a baby.
Smile.
A little Joker.
Did you just dribble at me? Are you trying to infect me with corona?
It's nuts to think about.